Hello everyone, I'm Karen McCullough, and we have today for you two beautiful litters of Pomskies. The first litter that we're going to talk about is out of Nikki and Champ, and they were born on the 1st of January. This here is a beautiful rare blue female that's called Adele, and she has two blue eyes. She has that beautiful blue colored coat and a husky mask, and you can see her little blue nose. You can see the gorgeous color that the blue is. Maddie's going to turn her around here in a few seconds, and then you can really get to see what the coat looks like on these blue puppies. I think she'll probably be 10 to 15 pounds is what we're predicting, and you can see her blue coloring there. She's a gorgeous little girl. These guys will be ready for their new homes around February 26th is what we're thinking. So they're just over 3 weeks old, going on 4 weeks old, and just starting to get around just barely. So their ears are still pretty closed off. They're starting to be able to see a little bit, but not too much yet. And there you can see her beautiful blue coloring on that little rare girl. Okay. I think she'll probably have a coat similar to her mom, which is probably a short woolly. I would probably classify her, or a longer plush, but probably more in the short woolly range, I would say. So the next little girl is, actually the next little boy, is our little boy that is called Aslan, and maybe we'll switch. Okay, Aslan. And he is actually spoken for. So he's found his new home already. He has two blue eyes, and he has a white coat. It's just a little bit maybe off color white. I wouldn't necessarily call it quite a cream, but he has a cute little brown nose, and he's a sweet little guy. He's the bigger pup in this litter, but I would still think that he's probably going to be around 15 to 20 pounds is what we're estimating him as, I believe. So he's a sweet little guy. Pretty laid back, that little guy so far. And you can see his white coloring, maybe just a little bit off-white. But gorgeous little guy. He's got the blue eyes, just a beautiful. You can kind of see husky markings in his face a little bit. So he was the only boy in that litter, and he is spoken for. Alright, so now we're moving on to the little girl in the litter, and she has two blue eyes. Her name is Amy, and Miss Amy is a white Pomsky, which in the beginning the Pomsky breed was having quite a few white pups, but now it's actually pretty rare to have a pure white Pomsky, so, and especially with them to have the two blue eyes. So she's a gorgeous little girl. She's going to be stunning when she gets older. I can see that already. But little brown nose. She's a cutie. But these guys are all starting to get around just a little bit. Not quite playing with toys yet, and they're not eating yet. They're still nursing on mom. So this next week's going to be a big transition week for them. They'll start eating real food and drinking water, and then they'll start venturing out of the nesting boxes. Alright, this little girl here is a black and white with a husky mask and a black nose, and her name is Akita. And Akita is just a gorgeous little girl. She has two blue eyes and just perfect markings on her. Dark black nose, and you can see her coat there. I expect all of these kind of have the coat similar to mom, but as they grow, we'll kind of be able to estimate if they have a longer coat, more like Champ or more like mom. So we're going to attempt to put all of the puppies up on here so you can get a good look of all four of them together out of Nikki and Champ's litter. Sometimes this can be a little bit challenging. So there was little Amy, and then Aslan, the little boy, and then Akita, and then the little blue girl, Adele. So there they are. They're quite a bit the same size really right now. So we're estimating these guys probably, oh, I don't know, probably we'll guess them around 15 right now. We're not for sure because Dad is 8 pounds and Nikki runs around probably 13, 14 pounds. So we'll see as they grow what they end up as, but we're going to guess them 10 to 15 is what I'll call them right now. All right, moving on to our next babies. These ones are out of a different mom. So Brooklyn and Icon is who these ones are out of. And this is little Bart. And Bart is a blue-eyed boy that has 2 copies of Blue Eyes. And he is a gorgeous little guy. Perfect husky mask. He reminds me so much of his dad at this age. He's just stunning. You can see the silver shading coming in on his legs. And just a very, very, very nice pup. If anybody's wanting one for breeding, this guy here would, all 3 of these boys that we're going to talk about are just excellent puppies. And with the 2 copies of Blue Eyes especially, that's really, really cool about them. So I would estimate this guy probably going to be between 10 and 15 pounds. Icon and Brooklyn are both around 16 pounds, but this one, Bart and Brock, are the 2 smaller ones in the litter, so I'm going to guess them under 15 pounds, and we'll watch them as they grow, because he's not very big. Yeah, so that is little Bart, and you can see his coloring. He's like, I want to get my feet under me. His perfect little ear set and perfect face markings, and just the way that the shape of his face is really remarkable. So we're pretty excited to see this little guy and his brothers grow up and see where they end up. But beautiful little guy. All right, the next baby, we'll see who she's coming up with next. This guy here is Brick. And he is the bigger of the 3 boys, but not like overly huge. I would say that he'll probably be between 15 and 20 pounds. He has that real beautiful husky mask, a little bit wider blaze than what the next one that we're going to talk about is. He has 2 Blue Eyes. All these guys carry 2 copies of Blue Eyes, so I guess it's just a given. This whole video, all the puppies have 2 Blue Eyes. This guy here is just a beautiful little guy. Like I said, we don't know, their character yet or anything like that, but he is probably, so far, seems to be a little more adventurous than the others so far. And he has that little white spot on the back of his neck. He says, I maybe could crawl out of here if I try hard enough. And there he is. Beautiful little guy. I'm just so impressed with Icon's puppies. We've bred him now to several females this last 6 months, and they're just gorgeous. All right, this little guy is Brock, and Brock is probably around the same size as Bart. There's just a little bit of difference between the 2 puppies in size-wise, and not a whole lot of difference in looks. If you like a little smaller blaze, this guy has a little bit smaller blaze than what Bart does. And that was the first the first male that we did out of these 3. And he has 2 Blue Eyes, 2 copies of Blue Eyes. He does not have any white on the back of his neck. And they start off pretty dark like this, but if you look at Icon's baby pictures compared to what he looks like now, that silver shading is really came in, and the undertone is probably going to be just like his dad's, I'd say. But it's a little bit early to tell exactly on how much of that'll change, like how light they'll become. Okay, now we're moving on to the girls. And this little girl here is Britt, and she is a chocolate and white female. She has 2 Blue Eyes. She's got a different mask than what we've seen. She doesn't have the little blaze. So I guess this is called a full husky mask, I think is what they call it. And so it'll change a little bit over time where it'll get a little bit more not so divided, actually. It'll fill in. So she's a beautiful girl, and you can see her coloring. She's just gorgeous. If you're looking for a chocolate, she would definitely, she's going to be stunning when she gets to be an adult. Okay, moving on to, should be Blossom. And there she is. Blossom is a beautiful lavender or lilac pup, which is a very rare color in the Pomskis. It's actually very hard to achieve because you have to have a blue and double copy of chocolate. So it's kind of a rare thing to be able to capitalize on those genes. This little girl here, though, is the rarest lavender color that we've had so far. It's just a different shade of lilac, and so we're pretty excited about her. She's got such a beautiful husky mask and 2 copies of blue eyes, and she did come back. Her DNA came back as a lavender or a lilac, so she is just a beautiful girl. We're not quite sure on what kind of coat she'll have, if it will be plush or if it'll be woolly. I guess we're still waiting to see how it fills in. So there's the 2 girls in the litter. We've got Blossom and Brick, and then this one here would be Brock would be next, and then Bart, and then Brick. So there is the 5 puppies that are out of Brooklyn and Icon, and they're growing and doing real well. Well, if you'd like any more information on one of these little guys, you can reach out to us. We are located in southern Iowa. We do fly our puppies. If you aren't from around here but are interested in one of our puppies, we can make arrangements with our puppy nannies to have one delivered to you. And we always pray about where our puppies go, so we just put it in God's hands for Him to provide the perfect families. And if you'd like more information on one of these great puppies, you can reach out to us or visit our website, which is www.mainaimranchdogs.com. You can also visit our Main Aim Ranch Pomskis Facebook page and our Main Aim Ranch Dogs YouTube channel, and also Instagram. Well, God bless you all, and everybody have a wonderful day.